Hello, Kaylee.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so how was your week so far?
It's good.
It's good. Okay, I'll let you meet someone today. Hello. Look at the camera, B. This is my puppy. This is it's a boy. And this is his mother. His mom. His dad is outside, sleeping already. Okay, so how was your day again? Sorry?
It was good.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you had a good day this Tuesday. So for our class tonight, we will be talking about history. How do you feel about history?
Hard.
It's hard. Do you also have history subject in school?
Not really history, just like Korean.
Oh, Korean history, not world history. I see
that.
In Korean history, there are also a lot of great people, right, in your ancestors. So, have you learned of Cleopatra before?
Oh yeah.
Oh, when did you hear her name?
I just read it in a book.
I see. Okay, so what do you know about Cleopatra?
I know that she is smart and she likes to read books like scrolls, and when she died, she was bitten by like a snake.
Yes. So why do you think she's a very relevant person in the history, even though she's a woman?
Because maybe she was a good ruler and take care of her country very well.
Yeah. Okay. So why do you think she's famous for not just women but even for men? What you said earlier was one of the main reasons. She's a smart person, okay? Not just smart in terms of academics, like studying in school, but she's very smart in terms of politics, which is very important in history. Okay, that's why even though she's a woman, a lot of people admired her or thought that she's an amazing person. Even the men, who usually they cast out women, but Cleopatra is an exemption. Okay, so this book is entitled Cleopatra Finds Her Voice. So why do you think this is the title that the author chose for this book?
Maybe because Cleopatra knew how to be a really good queen by learning her country's language.
Yes, but why do you think that's important, learning your people's language?
Because you have to rule your people, and if you can't really understand them and they can't understand her, then it'll be really confusing and a lot more harder than knowing how to speak in their language.
Yes, exactly. Okay, how would you even know what your people need if you don't speak their language? You don't understand them. Okay, so do you know how did Cleopatra become the queen of Egypt?
She married her brother.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so after her father died, Cleopatra and her younger brother were both the rulers of Egypt. They are both like the only descendants that can inherit the throne. So instead of giving the throne, the power to other family, other people, they just kept it in the family. So they married each other because of that. Okay, but obviously, because she's smart, but she was overly ambitious. Okay, she got a little bit greedy. So there were many people who wanted to kill her, but she was remembered as one of the most amazing, intelligent ruler of Egypt, not just as a queen.
Yeah.
Do you know what other things are famous in Egypt?
Sphinx.
Yeah, the Sphinx. What else?
Pyramids.
Pyramids. And there's one more thing they're very famous for.
Wig.
The wig. Well, yeah, especially Cleopatra's. That is a very famous thing. But the answer is this. In the Nile River before?
Yeah.
Oh, you've heard of it. Okay, why is it famous? Do you have any?
Well, it is really deep or really long. Yeah.
Really long. That is the longest river. But nowadays, I mean, recently, there is a debate over this because they said that the Amazon River is now the longest. But they measure it differently because it's in South America, so they measure it differently from the Nile River. But officially, for example, it came into your exam, something like that. The Nile River is the longest river in the world. Okay, so your answer here, you only have one correction, which is the. Like that. Okay, the Nile River. That's why they always make a joke of it. Do you know that? In the Nile River?
No.
Like when you are denying something that you feel or you did, like you are in denial, something like that. So people would say, oh, you shouldn't be in denial because that is the longest river in Egypt. Something like that. Like, don't be liar like that. Don't deny. Something like that. So anyway, we put that here because the Nile River is a very specific place. So specific places, we put the, unless they are the name of countries. Next.
Egypt is located in the northern part of Africa, with a small area called the Sinai Peninsula stretching into Asia. Egypt's location connects Africa and the Middle East, and it is famous for the Nile River, which flows through the country and is very important for life there.
Okay, so your country is also a peninsula. Do you know that?
It's a peninsula.
Yeah, so a peninsula, it is a landform that is surrounded by water on 3 sides, okay? Not on all sides, just 3 sides, but still connected to the mainland, okay? That is peninsula. So your country is also peninsula. My country is not.
Yeah.
We are archipelago. Have you heard of that?
No.
No. It means it's made of group of islands. Yes, because our country has 7,000 plus islands. So it's not a peninsula like yours. Okay. So here is the next one. What is the famous name for the Nile River?
I don't know.
I
Famous name of the Nile River is blah blah blah.
Okay, the Nile River. Okay, by the way, river is part of its name. So capitalized R, capital R. Okay, and no comma before and after this. Like that. Okay, so because you don't know the answer, I'll just give you the alternative.
Okay. The Nile River is often called the father of African rivers because it's one of the longest rivers in the world, flowing through northeastern Africa. It's also known as the lifeline of Egypt because it has been essential for Egypt's survival, providing water, fertile soil, and a way to travel.
Okay, so there are actually many nicknames or names for the Nile River, but the most famous is this one, Father of African Rivers, because there are a lot of long rivers in Africa. However, the Nile River is the longest one, and it's the most essential or most important one. And now, for the last one, let's answer expression 3.
What are the languages Cleopatra knew?
Yes, what were they?
She knew how to speak in Egyptian, Hebrew, Aramaic, Persian, Latin, and some African dialects.
Yes, so she only lived in Egypt, right? And the people spoke Egyptians. But why did she have to learn all these other languages?
Maybe she wanted to talk to many people around the world.
For what reason?
Well, she's the queen of Egypt. Well, she's going to be, so she needs to get well with other countries and stuff like that. So maybe learning their language helps.
Yes. If it were you, would you learn a lot of languages too if you were become a queen?
No.
No. How many languages would you learn?
Well, maybe just 2.
Right? It's too much to learn all of these things. Okay, but the main reason for that is to connect with their people. So that's why the book title is like that, to connect better with her people. And aside from connecting with her people, when she grew up and became the queen, she used this knowledge as her political strategy. Okay, because she can speak the native languages of the people, they kind of respected her even more. And even though she was a woman, okay, they respected her and they voted for her, they supported her because of it, because they kind of like trusted her that she's a good leader because she's learning this and that. Okay, and it's also important because before, women couldn't receive education, right? But because she learned all these languages, okay, she doesn't seem uneducated. So she seemed like, in words today, professional, something like that. Okay, and that would be all for Cleopatra Found Her Voice. Anything you want to add?
No.
No. Okay, then I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.